I'm Matcha Bunny, and welcome back to another episode of Tiny Bunny. Let's get back into it where we were last time. And volume, and bam! Okay. Oh, no. There we go. I've been thinking. Oh, wait, where's my voice? I've been thinking. I need to tell you something. I froze. It can't be. Does she like me? You've been looking so lost lately. And when I saw you at school today, you were pale like a ghost. I couldn't find my words. My heart was aflutter in anticipation. I wanted to say, I'm on your side. I smiled. A smile was spreading on my face in anticipation for Polona's next words. And I feel so sorry for you. Guys like you deserve better. I want to believe that you'll find the strength to fight back at some point, and the others will stop picking on you. The pen fell out of my weak fingers. Is that all she was going to say? Maybe you'll find a girlfriend. She sounded as if she was unsure of her own words. Well, I just wanted to let you know that you're a nice guy. I was a total failure. Compassion instead of an invitation to hang out. You there? Before I could reply, Olia descended the stairs. She was holding some book. Holding some book in a pink cover. Encyclopedia of a Young Lady. Will you take long? I covered the headset with my hand. I'm in the middle of a conversation. What happened? Read me a bedtime story, please. Mom fell asleep. Go to your room. I'll be there in a minute. Just be quick, okay? Fine. My last reply sounded especially annoyed. I sighed, watching my sister run up the stairs. Hello, Polina? Sorry, I need to run. Can you imagine there's someone in love with me and he snoops about under my windows, demanding to go on a date with him. I'll go chase him away before Grandpa wakes up. Or maybe I should give him a chance? I bit my lower lip in jealousy. I'll tell you tomorrow if you want. We're friends after all. Oh. Friends. At least she didn't say we're besties. Yeah, sure. Good. The buzzer hammered in my brain. Oh. Dirty slut, an angry voice spoke through the teeth in my brain. Like a restless zombie devoured, devoid of courteousness, I dragged my feet up the staircase. I wish I could tell Dad, ask for his manly advice, but he didn't show up at home until late at night because of his new job. My parents didn't have time for me, to put it lightly. Well, where's your book? I shuddered. The kid's room was empty. Olia? She probably snuck into my room. I started walking down the corridor. The room was infested with shadows. The blinds were wavering like there was someone hiding behind them. I smiled, seeking towards the window, and threw them open the curtains. Gotcha! There was nobody behind the curtains. The window was a TV screen showing winter scenery. The lamppost in the field and a couple of walking figures in the middle of it. Olia and Olia. I gasped and pressed my fist to my mouth, sinking my teeth into it. Bro, she's stealing his sister. Rude. Olia was leading Olia into the thicket. I needed less than a minute to hurry to dress and rush out into the house, where I was being like a firing machine gun. The winter carried the cold, resinous smell of coniferous trees from the forest. Freezing air crackled somewhere in the field. The shadow loomed in front of the gate. I could recognize them as my sister and the fox girl because of their heights. I ran towards the fence, listening to the howling wind and the squeaking of snow. One figure moved slowly, gliding towards the thicket like an ice skater. I slowed down, touching my glasses, trying in vain to adjust my vision to the surrounding darkness. I worried, laid on my shoulder like a weightless snowflake. A snake woke up in my belly and started wriggling. I felt nauseous. I thought about my home, the flimsy fortress I had left behind. I finally caught up to my sister, dressed only in a coat. Olia!
Have you seen the foxy?
Olia, why did you go outside? If Mom finds out. My sister froze in place, facing the taiga. She was in hand's reach, and I could put my numb wrist on her shoulder. Put my numb wrist on her shoulder for some reason, probably to make sure it wasn't a dream.
Oh, it's an owl.
A pointy beak was directed at me, strewed with feathers that formed an owl face. Something wearing a bird's mask was staring at me. Hoot hoot, she won't. The voice sounded exactly like Olia's, but there was someone else hiding behind the feathers in the carton. I sprinted as if I got whipped. The masked creature only pretended to be Olia, just to lure me out. I was running like crazy, drowning in the snow. The house was in front of me. It was rapidly glowing. The yellow light in its windows granted me hope. My mom, my sister were there, my salvation. I couldn't hear anything from behind me, as if nobody was chasing me. Maybe it was because the owl can fly? I was already climbing the porch when I noticed another figure. From the soot black shadows of my house, a scruffy wolf cub crawled out and stood in my way. The moment there was a jerky chaotic, as if it was performing some terrifying dance, or convulsing during a stroke. And even though I could clearly see that the wolf's face was a mess, something in this wolf's convulsions made me freeze in place. The boy in the wolf's costume rubbed his side against the porch and fell to his knees. He bent his back so hard that I expected his spine to crack. The beast's eyes shone, but he didn't attack. He kept crawling around and running on all fours. I shifted my feet, my mouth agape, trying to keep him in my line of sight. Something was tricking from the slit of his mask. Vigorous drops fell to the wooden plank. Saliva. Someone unknown force pushed me in the back, whispering me to save myself. The fence was flashing by the edge of my vision. I was running in another direction this time, towards the toothy edge of the forest that smelled of pine. My heart bemeasured time. The wolf boy growled behind me back, as if he forgot his human nature. My right leg got stuck in the snow-laden cavity. I yanked it out, cursing under my breath, and fell to the ground. Plastering snow prevented me from standing up, from propping myself against anything. But my unbound thirst for life helped me get out of that trap. Darkness was creeping closer, like the toxic fumes of burial pyres. I ran again, gasping for air that stuck to my throat. My hair swayed in the wind. I lost my hat when I fell down. My ears were now hot from the freezing cold, while most of my body was still sweating. The field finally ended. After realizing that running into the forest wasn't the smartest decision I could have made, I dove into the line of trees. I ran without stopping, my face covered with one of my palms. I didn't want to lose an eye to some random branch. Branches whipped my clothes, prickling my skin like butchers that were herding a pig into the grinder. Butchers that were herding a pig into a grinder. A knot of roots sprouted from the ground and grabbed my foot. I rammed in the scratchy trunk, slid down to its base, and looked around in panic. Hey, Foxy!
Phew, you're so fast.
My first desire was to dash towards her and hug her. I resisted it and squeezed myself even tighter to the pine. You, what are you doing here?
This and that.
She was holding the hat I lost.
Working part-time in Lost and Found. Put it on, or your ears will freeze and maybe even fall off soon.
She giggled. I squinted in suspicion and shifted my gaze back and forth between her and the hat, scared that Alia might be holding a severed head or something even more sinister. But in the end, my hat turned out to be just my hat. I took it and put it on over my forehead.
Feeling warmer?
I didn't reply. There were some children in the yard.
And? Did they bite you or something?
No.
Then why did you run away?
The answer was obvious, but another rolling thought on my tongue, I mumbled. I don't know.
Why did I promise to never call you a dunce again? Oh well, I keep my promises.
She walked up to me and grabbed me by the elbow. I sensed a familiar aroma of mint, oranges, and a burnt sparkler. I wanted to lean into Alia to savor the minute details of her smell.
How many times do I have to tell you? You're safe as long as you're with me. I'm your friend. And they are too.
I quickly turned around towards the place the fox girl was pointing to. The kids in masks appeared in the clearing. At least they looked like kids since they were all pretty short. The wolf boy and the owl girl and the bear boy. They huffed and gasped for air, clearly tired of running around.
I thought you fell through the snow. I started digging around, but I couldn't find you.
And I didn't. I don't care enough. You see, if you're dumb, you run around and dig. And if you're smart, you wait until the others get tired of running around and digging. Then you start talking. You're a rat. Degenerate.
Huh?
Oh, don't mind him. He's a weirdo. I stood there stupefied, my mouth agape, my hands dangling helplessly. I had no idea how to react to the words of these late-night guests, but I managed to squeeze out something resembling a smile. You just scared me, that's all. They started looking at each other, and somebody even snorted as if I said something funny. Yes, the fox is right. He's the one.
No, this is R. We finally found him. Have we finally found him?
Our bunny!
Yes, he looks the part.
The wolf boy started wagging the part of his costume like it was his tail in excitement.
First. Of course, you're first. Wolfie here is the first to sense the bunny in you. He told us about you.
Hello.
And you've already met our Hootie before.
She isn't that scary, is she? I guess.
And this smiling big guy is Teddy. Be mindful of him, or he'll chew off your head.
What?
I see you've already dropped your sense of humor somewhere on the way here.
I was still unsure if these particular little animals had the best interest in mind, or I hid my hands behind my back trying to look away from the gasping hole of their carnival mess. Allie put her hands on her side in a theatrical manner, somehow managing to wink with her fox face.
Next time we come, we'll ring a bell for you. That way you'll be less scared of our visit. Do we even have any bells?
I won't be ringing. My paw hurts. My smiler was no longer fake.
You're showing your teeth. That's a good sign. I didn't expect you to find us fun. I thought it was an emotional reserved strictly to Disneyland.
How do you know that?
I read about it somewhere.
You read about me?
Are you funny? No, about Disneyland, darling. You can read human? Do you think I've been going to school every day for nothing?
And then she sang in a conquished voice. Where to hit kids every week, where you prey on all the meek out of your at your local school, of course, in your classroom. Oh, jeez. I let out a cautious laugh.
There's one back there.
My new acquaintances didn't seem scary anymore. On the contrary, they looked friendly and welcoming. There was something about them that attracted me. Like this clearing and this moon, the snowflakes that fell backwards from the ground into the sky, as if someone was rewinding a tape. The mask of the kids got close and I felt their touch, like they gave me a friendly tap, felt my clothes as if checking whether I was real. There was no animalistic malice in their touch, only pure childish curiosity. For some reason, I thought to myself, I can trust them. Snowflakes just kept on floating upwards.
Nobody will hurt you anymore.
Friend. Yeah, if someone even tries to. The fox gave me a slight tug and burst out laughing.
Well then, Tasha, will you run away screaming or come with us?
Where to?
The amusement park.
At that moment, Targia's destructive silence was broken by the sound of a distant flute, memorizing a luring to it brought about the ring of crystal glass and the whispers of fresh winter spring. If I had any doubt before, the flute song scattered the last of them. I started following my new friends before I could even make my decision.
There was someone there. I was right.
My legs carried me on their own will, and the tunnel made of pines stepped apart, bushes bowed in front of our procession. Everything looked dreamlike. Because even the clearing we ended up on, I saw in my dream. The flute soared up in the treetops like some fantastical bird. The snowflakes floated up in a spiral. The moon painted the tree branches with silver. Elisa grasped in amazement. I was also in awe. I tilted my head backwards as far as I could.
What a sight.
It's so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. Wolfie had an agreement.
This is nothing. I can show you much more. If you want.
I wanted to see what the fox girl saw with her eyes, hidden in semi-dark of her cape. Now, I don't feel weird about these masked kids.
I feel weird for being the only one without a mask. I felt like I was naked in January winds. Why do you wear these masks? I was trembling, but I wasn't scared. My tremble wasn't because of the cold. It was oriented from a particular anxiousness, as the anticipation of something amazing. Why do you ask? I touched my cold cheek. I'm not wearing one. I love human tails. Human nails? Human veils? I already told you. All the villagers wear masks. It's just you don't find anything human underneath them. Even me? You're so clumsy, Anton. You already found your glasses once already. Your hat. And your real face. I looked at the mask the fox was holding out to me. The bunny mask that looked like a silver ingot under the moonlight. I was curious to see the world through the slits. I only have that option, so bet. Suddenly, fighting its way through the flute's melody, a thought came to me. The glass they found was in Simeon's possession. My new acquaintances must have known what happened to him, or even worse. And where did Simon even disappear to? What happened to him? And the other children? The bear and the owl looked at each other. The boy curled in a ball and the fox lowered her pointy nose of her mask. The one who was kept in a cage. The one who cut into little pieces. The one who wears a skinned face took them. If I knew how to cross myself, I'd do it. So you're saying it was a human? Were you even listening to us? How can you call someone like that him human? There's just one word for him. An adult. It's so easy to get lost in the adult world. Killer, cool animal trainer, and cold parents. If you don't want to get sad, better not think about them. I don't know about you, but I definitely don't want to be sad. Somehow, I'm also not sad today. What about you, Anton? Huh? I was lost in thoughts, staring at the pines, trying to pinpoint the location of the flute. I was sure that the person who played it was standing right behind the piney stockade. Someone tall, going over the holes in the flute with their long fingers. What now? Are we going to sit here and be sad or have fun? Alia, wanted to show me something? Let's start with the sweet stuff. The fox girl took out a handful of candy from her pocket and handed them to each of the kids. Covers shuffled and the smell of pineapple, cocoa, melon wafted through the air. The last treat, a chocolate-covered waffle candy, Elia put right into my mouth. My tongue was engulfed in spiciness. I felt like my body was covered in fur and small sparks were running all along. I chewed the waffle and the chocolate, gulped them down, enjoying the vivid taste. Thanks. My gratitude was barely audible because my lips were already touching the inside of the mask. I haven't noticed how they all put it against my face. The paper mache was warm. The mask stuck to my skin, giving it a nice prickle. The kind when you dive into a hot bath after being outside in winter, when you lie there from the soapy water. See? I told you. This is yours. Mine? What are you waiting for? The fun won't out of itself. Melody swept swirling to the field like a hurricane. I couldn't wait to release the energy, the heat that this enchanting music was filling me with. The eldest jumped and disappeared into the sky. I heard her laughing from somewhere above, then she landed back, huffing and sighing. You can do it too. Give it a try. I followed suit. I felt my feet toe from the ground. I flew towards the stars like a rocket and screamed in happiness after seeing my friends down below. They have color. The wind helped me fly. It felt like I was jumping on a huge trampoline. Oh, this is the first time it's had color. The stars looked like the vivid sparkles that I could reach and lick up. The moon had gone closer, and then I plummeted. I got scared that I'd break my legs for a moment, but my soul landed soft on the ground, and I gained balance. You're safe with us. And all your dreams will come true. I'm so happy you finally found you. Bunny. In a fit of merry laughter, I realized the most important thing. These four are not a threat. My real enemy, and I felt that with every single hair in my mask, were those who knew nothing about magic. Humans from the village. I also realized how alive my surroundings had become. I heard the dry grass under the snow moan. I saw faces of the trees and the stars. The trees were smirking, and the stars were grimacing in fear. That's right. Be scared. I'll jump up to you and... I snapped my teeth, then let out a jubilant laugh, jumping up along with the fox. The colors are really nicely done. I like it. We flew higher than the tallest pine and stayed in the air. I swirled Alia around, following my rhythm. I knew that she was smiling, so I smiled too. And the flute just kept playing, carrying us higher and higher. Hey, did someone put a spell on you? Hey, did someone put a spell on you? That someone is standing next to me, I thought, trying to... Oh, that's interesting, okay. I thought trying to unglue my chin from the desk. My muscles felt slightly sore, but that feeling was pleasant. The whole class was wandering around for some reason, whispering and passing notes to each other. Their faces looked like discolored masks to me, bleak and boring. I yawned, remembering the time I was soaring high above the forest with Alia by my side, laughing and squeezing my hand. Probably, it was just a dream. Because I didn't walk back from the forest, I just woke up in my bed on a normal morning with tea and medicine. Still, I can hardly worry about trying to find a rational explanation for my night dance. That feeling of flight was much more important. Knowledge of how it feels to be hanging in the air above the treetops was majestic pines and baring my teeth at the moon. Sorry, I got lost in thought. Have you heard about Katya? Huh? I glanced at the empty seat in front of me. Katya went missing. My sleeplessness was gone in an instant. I frowned in suspicion. What do you mean? It can't be. Oh, shit. Well. You know, shit happens. Oof. Stomp your hooves and wait. I can't believe it at first, but Lilia Pavoda didn't come to work today. The test is off. I remembered Katya. She was both beautiful and mean. Katya, the first girl in our class whose body started maturing into the envy of all the other female students. The main source of gossip, and a snake and a bitch. I continue scribbling in my notebook, drawing rows of pines and two small figures flying between the treetops in a full moon. Shivers ran up my shoulders, sneaking playfully under the hem of my shirt. Even though soaring through the sky felt so simple, there's still something evil weighing me down. Was it the stolen signet ring, or the heavy look of those missing kids from the notice board were giving me? The culprit was definitely still in the village. They were hiding somewhere horrible under a mask of pinus.
What are you drawing?
Embarrassed, I covered the notebook as if there was something shameful about the figure above the forest. Nothing really, just fooling around. And we're going to end on this very cute picture of her. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please remember to like, subscribe, and if you want, leave a comment. I will see you guys next time with this interesting story plot. We'll see how this goes. Okay, bye-bye.